Well, thank you for watching our extended version of Coffee with the Candidates as we get to know former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we are here with a few Iowa Republicans who are all undecided in who you plan to caucus for in January. You all have some questions for Governor Hutchinson, and Mary, we'll start with you.
If you're elected president, if and when, how do you handle stress? How would you handle stress?
Great question, and I've handled stress, first of all, by good exercise. I play full court basketball when I have the chance. I regularly work out, and so exercise is a critical part for me of handling stress. And then secondly, you got to be on your knees. You've got to understand that the decisions you make are important, but they also will be weighed in not just by history, but by eternity as well. And that we're all accountable to a sovereign God. And that's an important part of handling stress. We are not in charge of everything. We have to recognize that we do the best we can. But so both in terms of my faith, but also exercise is how I handle stress.
Governor, you mentioned faith there, and for a lot of Iowans, faith plays a large role in their lives. We have a lot of evangelical voters here. For those that may want to know your testimony or your faith journey, would you mind sharing that, and then how it would impact your role as president as well?
Well, I grew up on a farm. My mom and dad had taught me good values, but most importantly, they got me to church. And through church, I recognize my need of a Savior, and that you know, I'm a sinner just like everybody else. And so that salvation moment changed my life. And you grow in faith as you go into your family life, but also the public arena for me. And how it impacts me is that you know that you're responsible to a sovereign God, first of all, and that you need, just like our founding fathers, in the critical moments of our country, they ask for God's blessings and God's strength and God's help, and I think that's important for our nation. And then thirdly, it is important as a person of faith in a public office as president that you recognize we are a diverse society. And so we want to have that freedom of worship in our country in which the government does not dictate a particular way. And so that's where I believe in freedom, and I believe in government staying out, but creating an environment that faith is comfortable, that people are not intimidated if they pray in the public space, or that they have you know, biblical values that are important to them.
Bryce, I think you have the next question.
How would your previous experience as governor and also other positions help you as president?
You know, the experience is irreplaceable. Now, you can have bad experiences, and if you have a bad track record, you might be still going the wrong direction. But the experience that I have given is I've led this country in times of national crisis. I've led a state during a pandemic and where we had to stand for freedom and our schools being open and making sure that, you know, we didn't shelter in place so people could make a living and provide for their family. And so that experience is irreplaceable. Management during crisis. My first day at Homeland Security after 9/11 and the largest government reorganization since the Pentagon was created, they came to me and said, Mr. Secretary, we have a plane that's been hijacked in Cuba. It's headed toward the airspace of the United States. We don't know whether it has hostile intent. What action do you want me to take? Now that's pretty irreplaceable experience because you know who to ask, what the protocols are, what the training is, and how to handle difficult situations. That's what a president has to do day in and day out. And so that experience is irreplaceable, but it's also experience about America. It's about, I've seen the resilience of this country after 9/11. I've seen how people handle in the trust relationship in terms of COVID and who they listen to and how they make decisions. These experiences are irreplaceable as a leader.
Betsy, I think you may have a question on immigration. What's that question?
You stated you wanted to protect American sovereignty, secure the border, and enforce immigration laws to maintain the integrity of our nation. How would you do that? Besides just closing the border, how do you plan to deal with the already illegal immigrants with compassion, but regain control over the issues called us by under President Biden?
Well, you said it exactly right, that there's two great values that are in conflict to a certain extent. One is that we believe in the rule of law in our country. You do things in an orderly way. If you come into our country, you do it through a legal path. Secondly, we're a compassionate nation, and there's not a greater compassion than the American people, even toward those that are coming here that are looking for a new life and trying to provide for their family. And so we've got to balance those two. I'm a rule of law guy, so you start with that. And you enforce the law, and you make sure there is, you stop the illegal flow, but you also maintain that legal flow, because immigrants are a very, very important part of our country. My daughter-in-law is an immigrant to this country. I'm very proud of her and the contributions that she is making to this country. And that could go on and on down the line. The fabric of our country and our freedoms are enhanced by those immigrants. So how do you do it? I know what to do on the enforcement side, first of all. You give the Border Patrol the resources that they need. You declare the cartels foreign terrorist organizations. You partner with Mexico to go after them. You build infrastructure as needed. You reform your asylum laws. And so all of those things has to be done. And it's a very difficult task. We've got thousands of miles of border. It's not easy, very rough terrain. And then you've got our Canadian border as well, I might add. And then the other side of it, though, is the immigration. And I want to partner with the states to a greater extent. This is ridiculous that, our president is in conflict with the governor of Texas and other states in handling the border issues. The first thing I'm going to do is bring both Democrat and Republican governors together and say we're going to work on border security, and we're going to be a partner with them. So we're going to be going the same direction. And then whenever it comes to those that are here illegally in our country, the answer is let's secure the border first, and then we're going to address that challenging problem.
On the campaign trail, a lot of times you talk about energy independence and how that would play a role in your administration if you were president. What role would renewable fuels play in your plan to make America more energy independent?
We want to be able to produce energy in our country from every source: nuclear, hydro, wind, solar, fossil fuel production of energy is an important part of it, and renewables. And so here, of course, we have ethanol. In Arkansas, we have biofuels. I support those, and that's an important part of our energy mix. But this is really an important topic because it relates to growth. And while I believe that we've got to be responsible in the management of our environment, and we have to move to environmentally sensitive ways to produce energy, we've got to produce energy. And we want to produce through the oil. And President Biden just today said that he's foreclosing more of the petroleum reserve in Alaska away from production. Isolate it, say we're not going to produce oil out of there. That's what it's there for. That's why we have the petroleum reserve. And I'm going to open that up that where we're going to produce energy in our country, we're not only independent but energy dominant again. And that's what we've got to do from all of those sources.
That may be part of your platform if you were president. I know Betsy has some other questions about what your major goals would be.
So can you share your first 20-day in office plan? What do you plan to accomplish, and what are your action steps? But what are the obstacles in your way too?
Well, first of all, I'm going to do everything I can do as president on that first day. For example, putting in my flexible hiring freeze for non-defense workers. I'm going to reverse many of the Biden policies that are in place that are burdening our schools, that are restricting our energy production. Those are things that I can do by executive action that I will do on day one in the first 20 days. Secondly, we'll have a border security bill that goes to Congress that says we're going to do what I've said we're going to do, which is protect our border. So that will be part of the agenda. We're going to submit a budget that will reduce the deficit. And that's a really important part of the equation because presidents have gotten lax and they have not sent over to Congress their budget on time, which sets everybody behind and gives Congress the excuse not to do their job. So as president, I'm going to submit a budget that showcases that we are going to be serious about reducing federal spending, and we're going to get control of it and our future debt. Also, we're going to address the issue of Social Security and Medicare in those first 20 days. We're going to, as you know, it's phased in to go into real trouble in 2033, and I'm going to set up a commission that's going to look at the future of Medicare and Social Security, just as Ronald Reagan did in 1983. He appointed the commission, Alan Greenspan led it, it had bipartisan support and confidence, and it went to Congress, they passed it, and they saved Social Security and Medicare. We've got to do that again. I'm going to follow those same steps on that day, on those first 20 days. So that's a start.
On Social Security and Medicare, do you have a plan for changing those entitlement programs at all? I know some of your opponents have mentioned, changing the age of retirement or making cuts. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, that's what the commission will do. All the options should be on the table to look at. But the most important responsibility is to assure for our citizens that what they've paid into is going to be there for them. Now, when you look at specific ideas like the age requirement, I think that can be looked at, but two important points there. First of all, if you're in the construction business, if you're a manual laborer, your back wears out. You cannot extend the retirement age and expect your body to last that long. And so it's fine for somebody who's been in Congress and has had lawyerly type jobs. I can work, but you've got to understand working Americans. And then secondly, this is important, that we've got to take the penalty off of Social Security recipients between the ages of 62 and 66. Right now, if you're in that age group and you want to work, you're penalized for working. Take that penalty off, let the people work. If they want to, it's not required, but that moves people into the workforce. It gives them an opportunity to supplement their Social Security income, and they can work at their own pace to get the dignity of work and provide a spur to our economy because we need those people.
Governor, one last question for you. We are having this conversation over a cup of coffee, so how do you take your coffee?
Well, first of all, this goes back to how do you handle stress. I have decaf.
Oh, okay.
So I went to decaf, and that's been helpful to me. So as long as it's decaf, I'm good, and I don't take anything in it.
There you go. Well, the more you know. Well, thank you so much for joining us and answering all sorts of questions. I know we covered a lot of ground today, and thank you all for asking your questions as well.
Thank you. Great job.
And thank you to our viewers for watching Coffee with the Candidates. Have a great day.